All right. Hi, everybody. It's Katie Harlan, and I'm the founder of Team Dream Builders. Welcome to our team call. It is November 30th, 2016, and tonight I'm talking about challenge groups and how to lead successful challenge groups. So I'm really excited about this call, and I think that a lot of us need to go back to the basics, and so that's why I thought this was a good topic for us tonight. But before I get started, I just wanted to give you a little update about Success Club. So I told you guys that, hi Emily, I told you guys that this month would be challenging to hit Success Club, and I set up a challenge for you to try to beat me.
How come I can't hear her?
You can't hear me?
Oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I thought I was hearing you. Sorry.
Did you turn your volume up?
I did. I can hear you now.
Okay. Do you want to mute yourself now, Emily, in the bottom left?
Yes.
Okay. All right, awesome. So I challenged you guys to try to beat me in Success Club, and this would have been a really good month to do that because up until like 2 days ago, I was at 2, and my goal is always 10. For a lot of reasons. I like the volume and the commissions from getting 10 points a month. I like how it helps me pay for the Success Club trip every month. And that's just been my goal. Also, I have 2 months left to hit All-Star Success Club Legend. Success Club Legend All-Star Legend, I think is how it goes. Anyway, I'm working hard to get to 10. I'm at 8 right now, and I should be at 10 in the morning, but I'm working hard. So this is just a reminder that you have to really set those goals intentionally. And it just, if I would have let it happen, if I would have left it up to chance, it wouldn't have happened. And goodness, maybe it still won't. I'm cutting it down to the wire. But you really have to be intentional about those goals because you've got to work for them. So I think the next call I do will be on Success Club since I'd like to get back to basics. So we'll schedule one of those in December. Okay, guys, let's talk about challenge groups. So challenge groups or accountability groups, you can call them whatever you like. I think both are good, and I like switching it up because I think that changing the words around a little bit just makes people not think that you're white noise. You know, if they always hear you say the same phrases, I think they start to tune you out. So I just change up my verbiage a little bit once in a while and try to make it a little bit different once in a while. These groups are the bread and butter of our business. So that's what really makes our business stand apart from other health companies selling different health products and shakes and supplements, because not only do we help our clients find what works best for them and match them up with the right programs and the right nutrition, but then we coach them through it. And that's the difference. That's the difference in this company, and that's the difference in just being a salesperson and being somebody who's really helping somebody get great results. So these groups are super important. You're going to build your client base by this. This is what's going to offer value to people. And it's really important that you consistently run these groups for a few reasons. Number one, people will join you later. So if you're talking about it right now, you're going to perk up a lot of ears, but they're not all going to join right away. You know, it takes a while to kind of, get comfortable with that idea. It took me like 4 months of thinking about it before I joined. So if you run a group now, but then you don't run another group for 3 months, those people are missing that message. So they hear you talk about it once, then you don't bring it up for 4 months, and by then they've already moved on to something else or found another solution. So you really need to be consistent with running these, especially if you're trying to build a substantial business with this. That's one of your business activities, is running these groups. So I run one group every single month. Sometimes I run more than that if there's a new program, or if I have a really big goal to hit, or if I just have a lot of interest, I'll break up a group into smaller groups. But at least one a month should be your goal. Okay, so if you're taking notes, this is my number one tip for these groups. It is that you cannot phone these in. So what I mean by that is you can't just copy and paste and walk away and be done and expect that your clients are just going to get amazing results. And I know because I've done this. I've run so many groups that I've really tried to weasel out of some of the work or tried to figure out different ways to make it easier on myself. So take it from me, you can tell when the coach is not engaging. And I've run lots of groups with other people also. And I always know if a coach is like in it and they're really paying attention to the people in the group, or if they're just copying from a document and pasting and walking away. And frankly, it's a turnoff because that's so easy, any computer or app or blog or whatever can do that. We are providing the human touch. So if we're not giving back to these people, then what's the point? So that's my number one tip. And everything else is going to kind of fall underneath that. But my number one tip is you have to kind of be present. So you have to be present in these groups. It's just a requirement. And that doesn't mean that it takes hours. I think I probably spend 20 minutes a day with my group. And I'll tell you how I kind of do that later. But 20 minutes a day or half an hour or even 40 minutes if you're newer. It does get faster as you go, but really that's very little time for all of the clients that you're building and the people that you're bringing into this community, okay? All right, you guys, let's talk about the app versus Facebook, because I know that's a hot topic right now. I personally do both because there are good qualities about both. And because I'm a person that gets bored easily, 1 month I'll do the app and 1 month I'll do Facebook, and I just kind of like that. I can be flexible and do either one. My personal opinion is that it won't be long before we're not able to run these groups on Facebook because of how Facebook is changing and making it harder these days to run businesses from Facebook without paying or without doing it from a like page. That's just my guess, and I've never heard that exactly, but I just think it's important for us to know about the app and know how to use it because if Facebook shut down, we would still have a way to connect with our clients, and that's important. So let me tell you some pros and cons about the app versus Facebook, and I just encourage you to try both. And of course, you're going to find that you prefer one over the other probably, and that's okay. But let me tell you my experience. So the pros of the app, my number one favorite thing about the app is the amazing scheduling tool. So when you go to make a post, and I do all of my posting from the computer, nearly all of it, because the interface on the web is so good. If you click post, then on the right it's going to say post library. You can go back through any groups you've hosted using the app, and you can pull up any old posts to use. And then it's so easy to schedule them. It says schedule or post now, and it's got the calendar, and you can click. You could schedule the entire group at once if you wanted. And I'm just not that organized, but it's certainly a great idea, especially like for me, I always have trouble posting the evening check-ins because I'm usually like doing stuff. So that's a good one to schedule ahead of time. You could go ahead and post that for the whole month, for the whole group, but it's really, really easy to use that web interface. And then new post library is amazing. So I just go back through my old groups and I'm like, oh, I love this post, schedule. I love this post, schedule. And I have a rhyme and a reason for it. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm not just like randomly posting things, but it's just really nice. I don't have to come up with the same awesome words, or, you know, if my brain is just not feeling it one day, I can just copy and paste, and it's so easy. Okay, another pro of the app is that not everyone likes Facebook. So, you know, you might find your older clients are opposed to having a Facebook account, or even the younger clients now are kind of going without Facebook, or just somebody who's just not interested in it. It's really nice. And honestly, for me, I get like so many notifications on Facebook these days that I like and appreciate that when I'm running my groups through the app, that I have a separate place to get notifications. So you get notifications from the app, but I don't know, it just doesn't clog my Facebook. So I appreciate that. Excuse me. Okay. The cons of the app, it's not quite as interactive. So this is a weird thing, and I have a hard time figuring out why it's not as interactive, because you can talk to people, but you can't, like, if you comment on someone's post, if you click reply, it brings your comment to the very bottom of that thread instead of like to the individual comment. You know how Facebook does, like, you can reply to individual comments, which is really nice because you can have like conversations within a thread. Well, the app's a little different because the conversation can be spread out through the thread. So it's less interactive that way. I don't feel like it makes or breaks anything. You know, you just have to be diligent about commenting on people's things, and that takes a little longer maybe. The other thing that maybe makes it less interactive is that on Facebook, you can see how many people have viewed your posts. You guys know it's like, so many people saw this. Well, in the app you can't. So it feels quieter because you don't know how many eyeballs have been on it. So those are the pros and the cons of the app. But again, I think it's smart to use it and try it out at least once, because that might be our only tool for running these groups at some point. You can also use the app to run free groups, which I haven't done before. I know Jameson Durrell uses it all the time and exclusively, and he loves it for that. So I'm going to try that maybe in January for a free group. Okay, let's move on back to running groups. Let's talk about the post frequency and your content. So we are really, really, really lucky to be in the Transformers downline. So the Transformers team was created by Lindy Galt, who's my upline coach, and she created a Google Drive of all the education she posts. And it's listed in our team page, in the Dream Builders team page under files, that Google file. So that's available to everyone. And you can go in it and you can search. There's training, there's information for new coaches. But the thing I love the most about it is this library of resources for your groups. When I was in her group as a client, she told me to save everything that I saw to my computer, and that's what I did. So I saved all the stuff she posted, and then over the years, I've collected more things that I like and that I tend to post. But I do think it's important, however you want to find your information, if you want to use the stuff in the file, if you want to use my stuff, if you've been in one of my groups, or another coach's, I think that's fine. Or if you are really into like creating your own, there is an endless supply of information and resources online. But I would hesitate from posting just links to articles. I think once in a while that's okay, but just posting a link is sort of like phoning it in if that's all you're doing. So posting the content there for them to read it takes it a little bit further. So I encourage you to do that rather than just links. It's something else I was going to say about the content. I don't know. It'll come back to me. Okay. So the frequency. This is my happy place for post frequency, but I have run groups with all sorts of coaches, and this varies widely. But my favorite way, and this is sort of how I was coached, and of course we like what we get used to, right? To start the day with a good solid post. So I try to post by 7 a.m. If you use the app, you can have it scheduled and it can go out right at 7 a.m. every single day if you want. But I like for it to get to my clients as they're getting ready for work, because I think it's good for them to think about those things during their day, during their drive, while they're getting ready. It starts the day right. So that's my goal. Now, sometimes if I have a crazy day and I haven't scheduled my post or whatever, I'll post at 9 and I'll say, I'm so sorry I didn't get it in. And that's okay, that's okay. But for the most part, I post early. And I've run groups with coaches before who post like totally randomly, like 11 and 2 and 8. And like, that's not very professional. And it just feels thrown together. And so we want to run our groups like a business. This is a business, and this is where you're selling yourself. So you want to come across as someone who's organized and who knows what they're doing. So I start the day with a solid post. And on this post, I like to give them some good education most days of the week. So this is where I talk about the habits that they're checking in on. We spend a whole day talking about water and why it's important. We spend a whole day talking about Shakeology. We spend a whole day talking about why to eat frequently. We spend a whole day talking about eating clean, or a few days. So I kind of work through the health habits that they're checking in on, and then I throw in some different things too. So I try to keep it different, so every day is a little different. So if yesterday I posted a really long article about clean eating, then today my post would be slightly shorter and maybe with a little bit of a different spin. So maybe I'll post like a workout challenge because it's Workout Wednesday, or a different game, Tuesday trivia or something. But I most mornings I start with some sort of education. I usually keep it a little lighter on Sunday or Saturday, like one of the weekend days, and I'll just post like have a great day, and here, with a motivational quote and something a little lighter, because I know that people aren't like, their schedules are more relaxed and different on the weekend. So they're not like spending as much time on their phone or on their, on their phone. Okay, midday, I like to post something too. So this is when I post like a recipe, or if I found something funny that's fitness related, or like, hey, drop a picture of your water today. I want to see how much you've had. Maybe like a fitness challenge. If I didn't do one in the morning, hold a plank, post your time below. Just something light and small, but that keeps them engaged. Because if I only post in the morning and then I get their check-ins at night, there's a whole day that could, that's happened, and you're not engaging with them. So my goal is to kind of keep them focused. So I feel like if I am with them, at the beginning of the day, and I check in the middle, and then maybe one more time in the afternoon. I don't do that all the time, but if I did, that makes sense, because you're just keeping them close to you. So then I always check in the evenings, and that's where I say, let me know how is your day. Tonight I actually posted, Emily, your transformation pic, and I said, check this out. This girl was in my group a year ago. Look at where she is now. So just the evenings are a time for me to maybe give a summary of the day, talk about something I thought about today in relationship to the group. Kind of random. It's usually pretty short. I've run a group with someone who posted education in the evening as well as the morning, and I liked that too, but that's just not my style. So to summarize, because I'm kind of blabbing, I post in the morning, education. I post midday, something like a recipe or a challenge or a picture or a motivational quote or something to keep them focused. And then again in the evening to get their check-ins, okay? That's my favorite formula. You could post more than that. I wouldn't recommend a lot less than that. Now, this is like general information, okay? So I don't stick to like a 3 times a day and this time and this time and this time. Like, I'm flexible. We're flexible. So some days I only post twice a day. That's okay. Some days my middle of the day post comes at 2. That's okay. But they know generally that I'm going to be posting 2 to 3 times a day around these time zones. So they can depend on that. Okay. Let's see. I always make sure and talk about Shakeology. And I also talk about some of our other products. And I do it just because it's part of my life and I am sharing me with my group. So the other day, I shared Energize with them. I'm like, hey, have you guys checked this out? This is amazing. I talk about the different add-ons, the Shakeology boosts. I throw that in. That's a post once in a while. I just want people to know about these other things we offer, and quite often they don't. I have a video that I've made for my clients that just talks about my favorite way to make Shakeology and my favorite recipe. So I always put that in when I'm teaching them about why Shakeology is so good. And I always do a post like, do you guys, what you should be experiencing this, this, and this now that you're about a week into the group and you've been on Shakeology for a week. Share with the group something that you've experienced as a result of Shakeology. And that's always great. Anytime you can get your group to kind of sell Shakeology to the other people and sell your group and your coaching to the other clients, I mean, that's just good for you. That's just good in the group. You want to create a positive environment, and doing things like that always helps. Another thing that I do that's a product placement is I ask people to comment about the workout they're doing, because I almost always run mixed groups. That means that they are doing all sorts of different programs. And so I'll ask them to comment about the workout they're doing and tell why they like it or their favorite part about it. So somebody will talk about PiYo, somebody will talk about the fix, somebody will talk about size, and then boom, they're getting exposure to lots of different workouts. Let's see. Oh, I had a train of thought that went off the rails again. Okay, let's move on, and I'll come back to that. Also, you guys, if you have questions, just writing them down, and I'll get to those at the end. Okay, here's a question that people always ask, especially when they're new coaches. They say, "Is Shakeology a requirement?" So let me tell you my answer on this. Like everything that I do with this business, I don't have black and white boundaries, because every person is different and every situation is different. So I have a line that I try to keep it on, but I know that it's a gray area. There's lots of gray areas. So my answer is, I think people do better with Shakeology. My very first group I ever ran, I let somebody join with SlimFast because she was a friend of the family, and it's like, but I don't know, I just want clients, I just want people in this group. So she joined with SlimFast, and you guys, we were all, yay, we're feeling great, and here's my 5 and 4 and whatever, and she's like, I'm so tired, and this workout is horrible. I don't know how to get through it. And I just am craving chocolate so bad. And of course I'm like, well, that's because she doesn't have the benefit of all these vitamins and nutrients that we're getting. She just has this fake crap product, and it's not doing anything for her. And it's bringing the group down because they don't exactly understand yet that's why there's such a big difference. You know what I mean? So after that experience, I thought, all right, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to let somebody use these other products. That's not going to be cool. But there definitely have been situations where somebody is not on Shakeology. So here are some examples. Number 1, maybe you have a really great long-term client that just doesn't like Shakeology. Maybe they buy every single workout program you do, and they follow you on Facebook, and they're your biggest supporters, but they just can't do Shakeology. well, I'll let them in a group sometimes. Like if they're a really good, client and supporter, let them be in your group. They can still support you, and then they'll talk about your group and your coaching to other people. So some people just don't do Shakeology, right? How about somebody with an allergy? Well, of course, I'm not going to make them be on Shakeology if they have an allergy to it. Let's see. How about somebody who, bought the program and is like, I just really can only afford the program, but I really want to do your group. Well, sure. I let them in. Now, right now, it's the night before Success, it's the deadline to Success Club. And so when I'm talking to people, I'm not giving them an out because I'm trying to hit a goal. So if they say, I really, I want to be in your group, but I don't want to do Shakeology, I'm saying, I'm sorry. That's a requirement for this group. And that's okay. Like sometimes I make it an absolute hard requirement, and there are other times I'm more flexible. So do I think it should be a requirement? Yes, I think that should be your go-to answer, but I think that there are a lot of gray areas and you need to use your best judgment and business sense. But what I do urge you not to do is don't run these groups for free. So don't let people in who are buying nothing unless it's like your mom, because that is not what you're doing. Like that decreases your value as a coach. It cheapens what we do, and you're providing a real value to people. So don't give it away for free. I like to tell people that if they're not ready to make an investment, that I run free groups occasionally, and I'll be sure to let them know next time I do. So actually, I'm thinking about a December free group that we can all run together. So when I get my brain wrapped around the fact that it's almost like just December tomorrow, then I will post that for us. Because I do think that free groups are really valuable, and I think it's great to not always ask people to pay for things. But we also are running a business, and that's how we get paid. So, and also, we believe in these products. We know that they work, so we want other people to experience that too. So I encourage you not to let people join without a program purchase or without Shakeology. Now, another thing that I've been doing, and I don't know how well I've publicized this, but Beachbody now has another challenge pack option. It's the performance pack. So that, or the performance line, I think it's called the performance pack. But it's when you get a program, any program, and recover and energize, a 1-month supply. And it's on auto ship, just like Shakeology, so they'd have to cancel it if they don't want to renew it. But I just actually sold this to my neighbor because she wanted to be in my group. She tried Shakeology. She did not do well. Like it hurt her belly, and she even tried the vegan and so on and so forth. So I said, well, I'd love for you to be in my group. How about trying the performance pack? And so she did. And it's not the same quality of product as Shakeology as far as something you need in your life constantly. It's a great they're great products, but it's not, it's not giving your body like the vitamins that Shakeology gives you, but it's still a great product, and it's still giving them access to your group. It's helping you get Success Club, and it's part of that auto ship, which I think is really good for our business. So that's something that I do too. Okay, you guys, I hope that is helpful regarding requirements. Okay, another question is about prep week. So this, again, is like a gray area for me, and I change it depending on my situation for the month. So this month I had a group ending and another group starting like really close together, because my group ended on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and the next group started on Monday after Thanksgiving. So I knew that I couldn't set up the group, or I didn't want to set up the group on Thursday. Nobody cares about that on Thanksgiving. My birthday was Friday, so I did a little work, but not a lot. So I set the group up on Saturday, and I gave them a quick rundown of what they needed to know. And that's okay. So it just worked out that they didn't get a whole week of prep. They really got like 2 days. But, it's okay. Like, how hard is it? You got to clean out your fridge. You got to take your measurements. You have to have your stuff ready to go. Now, I like, groups when I can give them a whole week of prep. And if I have a really big group of all brand new clients and they're all really ready, then I will I will do a week of prep if it fits in my calendar, because that's a really great way to kind of build anticipation and get them really ready to go. But it just doesn't always work. And this group I'm running now is mostly repeat clients, so they didn't need a whole week of prep anyway. So it's totally up to you, but I'm just flexible that way. And I think we should all be. So another question is about when I run my groups in the month. So I wish that I could say, you guys are probably sensing a theme. I wish that I could say every single month I run my group on this week or this week, but it's not true. I typically run my groups the first Monday of the month. That helps me secure Success Club for the month before, because they have to order the month prior. And that, that's a good layout. So I love that. But sometimes there are different schedules, like vacations or, goals to meet or whatever, and that changes it. And so be flexible. But as far as a Success Club strategy, running your group at the beginning of the month is a good strategy. So let's pause there, and I'll take questions. I know that I've missed some things because I still can't remember the few things that my brain forgot. So do you guys have any questions while I'm trying to remember these things? Anything about what to post, how often to post? Are you guys solid on that? Okay, well, good. Let me think real quick about anything else. Oh, I know. And here's Emily. What did you say was in the, hey, Erica? Hi, Katie. What did you say was in the performance pack? Okay, the performance pack is any program with Recover, a month's supply of Recover, post-workout formula, and Energize pre-workout formula. So the other thing I was going to mention is if your groups have low engagement and you feel like there are crickets. So first of all, you need to know that this is totally normal. So out of every 3 groups I run, one is kind of lame. And it just totally depends on who's in it. I have a few clients that are lifers, and they do every group. And so I try to put them in groups where I feel like it's going to be quiet because I know that they're going to engage. So that helps. They're like my cheerleaders, that help on the sideline. But another thing that you can do to help with this is to do prizes. And prizes are a pain, a huge pain. Actually, I hate it. I love prizes, but I hate keeping track of the points. However, if you have a group that's really crickety, the prizes really work. So I'll do you could do prizes like top, highest points for the week, or you could do a prize for the most engagement in the group. You can do a prize for the best cheerleader. You can just do a prize daily, not every day. That's too much. But I mean, let's say on a workout Wednesday, okay, I'm giving a prize for, I'm going to draw a name from everyone who does a wall sit and post their time below. How long can you do a wall sit? Post your time below, and then I'm going to choose a winner. And that's when I'll use this stuff, these that come in our programs. This was a free workout that we got with Core de Force. So I don't need another workout. So I use these as giveaways. And it says right on there, it's a $20 value. So it's kind of a nice thing to send to people. Of course, Shakeology single serves are great. Those cups, you guys can buy. Now, I haven't been on the online office in the store for a while, but recently, you can buy those cups, 6 of them for $12 or $15. So I always keep those on stock, and they're really easy to mail. So I'll open them up, I'll put some single serves in, maybe a single serve of Energize. That's good product placement and advertising for you, because once you try it once, you are like, whoa, that stuff's amazing. Or little workout headbands. if I see a sale somewhere for that kind of stuff, I'll just grab some and I keep that for these kinds of purposes. Starbucks gift cards are always good. Chipotle gift cards worked well recently because that's healthy. So just different little prizes. You don't have to spend a lot, but even if you do one prize a week, let's say you spend $5 on each of those, I mean, that $15 is worth it because of the engagement that you're going to get. I like to also incorporate some posts where they have to promote your group. So, tonight, after your check-in, go on Facebook and on your wall, write a post about what you're doing right now, what workout you're doing, and why you're loving this group, and tag me in it. And I don't do that all the time, but if you have a really good group of people who are like enthusiastic, this is great free marketing for you and your groups. Okay, so if you have crickets in your group, remember it's not always you. If you're just pasting and walking away, it might be you. But if you're engaging and you're doing the things we talked about and you're giving quality posts, it's not you. You can try to engage them with some prizes, with some participation. Sometimes I'll do coach for a day. I'll pick somebody out and I'll say, you're the coach for the day, make the post. There's just different things you can do to engage them. And if that still doesn't work, it just might be a flop, I think the right number for a group is like 8 or more, 8 to 20, no more than 20. Fewer than 8 is it can be a little bit quiet. So if you're a newer coach or you've got a group and you only have 4 people, team up with somebody in our group. That's really, really been great for me in my business because I've been able to see what other coaches are doing, and it's cool to, mesh your styles. So you get ideas, you mesh your styles, and then it also decreases your workload a little bit because you only have to post, every other week or however you divide it. One more thing about that, and then I'll stop talking. If you are hosting with another coach, make sure that you don't just check out during your off week. I still, even though I'm not posting, I still comment on my clients' check-ins so that they know that I'm there. Okay, any other questions, you guys, about challenge groups? Okay, you guys. I will post the recording tomorrow because it usually takes a while to upload. Let me know if you have questions, and I hope you guys have a good night. Take care.